Hello and welcome back. Polius here for episode 21 of Let's Play Warsong. I've got to remember when I reset my computer to let the Java thing update before I start recording, because this is another complete redo because of that. Anyway, last time we completed a super long mission, and now we're doing a different mission. Scenario 10, we're halfway there. Castle on the Water. One after another, Garrett has defeated the relentless attacks of Pythion's armies. Finally, he surrounds the castle of Valk, the last fortress of the enemy. Now, the enemy, as you can see, there are those enemies there, and I've begun to realize if you don't see horsemen on the enemy roster, guess what's probably coming to reinforce them? In this case, though, it won't be Lance. Finally, he's taking a break from the beatings we've been giving him. Win condition is to defeat the enemy's commander. However, we are going to have our own condition of killing every enemy in sight, on sight. As always, we don't want Garrett or really anyone else to die. So I'm not quite sure how Garrett's surrounding this castle, but yeah, it looks more kind of like how you'd surround Venice by blocking off one bridge. And probably like Venice, it's going to start sinking into the water, and there'll be a big kerfuffle about the loss of such a great historical cultural monument as the Castle Valk. That's not our concern. Our concern is setting up to do battle against the enemy. This is not a mission for soldiers. We don't need soldiers. I just did a test run. Soldiers are silly. We don't need them. The enemy is going to sally out against us, which is kind of silly on their part, but, you know, like Napoleon says, never correct an enemy in the process of making a mistake. It's just rude. Let's go ahead and give Calais the great sword. Let's give Sabre the great sword. Calais will get the shield, and the cross will go to Mina. Those are the three that, well, I do want these guys to get some levels. But, yeah, Mina's experience hungry, and I want her to get to the highest level possible, so she is going to be one of my priorities. No soldiers. As I said, let's just be about it. Now, it's interesting. A lot of people, when they want to study medieval history, they're like, oh yeah, knights and armor and battles and jousting. First of all, jousting didn't happen until much later. Second of all, there weren't many battles to speak of. So commanders didn't like to risk warfare, and for good reason. You have the story of Simon de Montfort, who led a totally inferior force and completely crushed the King of England because just battles are risky. So they're populating on the river. A perfect defense. Your Highness, we must hurry before the enemy's reinforcements arrive. We have to make this attack count. This is it. To the mountains! So what often happens is medieval warfare becomes a litany of siege, counter-siege, castle by castle, with the odd town sacking to break the monotony. It's really kind of boring, actually. There's some interesting interplay when you start talking about the politics of you hold a siege out and then you make deals with the enemy commander saying, look, if your reinforcements don't come within 2 weeks, you just surrender. And for the most part, people would agree to that because there is a way things are done back then. And if you broke the aristocratic code of mutual admiration, then horrible things happen to you. I mentioned Simon de Montfort. Well, he broke the code, and Edward I, the villain from Braveheart, ended up letting one of his nobles cut his testicles off, hands and feet off, and send them to various parts of England. Not a happy time. So, you often have these people following these elaborate rules. People would, there are some stories where people would they would decide the fate of the castle by joust, and that would be it. They would agree to that. There are some people who would switch sides immediately and just join the other faction in the battle. It's funny how little actual major battles happen. The reason why the battles that we know of are so big is because they're the few that are there. One of the big dangers, though, is that you would find yourself sieging a castle and the enemy army would come up behind you. in this case, that's exactly what's happening. However, here, that's not really going to be a problem. I assure you, by the time the enemy army gets here, the enemy reinforcements get here, we'll be in a good position. Are there wizards? Beware of their magic. It can wipe us out in just a single attack. That is not terribly true. It could set us up in a really bad position, but not wipe us out in a single attack, Garrett. Come on. Let's see. I'm going to move Tiburon. It's going to go right here. Well... We'll think about this. Garrett's only level 2. Anyway, Calais is going to go right there, though. Move my lords. And the reason why this works, this strategy works, is because my lords and my king, all have healing spells. Mina has healing spells. If something goes sour, we have the high defense terrain here to keep things from going super sour, and the enemy will will just be able to heal after that, and I'll just put myself in a position where I can heal larger number of troops right away. It'll go great. Alright. Also, it makes the turns go by faster. I'm not having to putz around with, move this soldier here, move that soldier there. No, it's fine. So anyway, I decided that I am going to start doing a Let's Play of Dungeon Defenders. Moving from attacking one castle and I'll defend the next one. But right now it's updating, which is a good sign. I like to see games that update really quickly after they're released, because that means that the developers are paying attention to immediate feedback and are making changes right away. Some people say, like with the Rome 2 Total War, oh, well, they should have waited. Yeah, probably. But hey, they didn't, and the game is fantastic now. I'll totally be playing something with that game. I'll think about it. Yeah, so this is where the whole metaphor about holding up in castles falls apart for this game. The enemy is deciding to move out. They're not forcing me to come to them in that super great defensive... Well, it's not even that great of a defense. I mean, let's look at this. Alright, so you've got the... This was actually a thing that they would have, is they would have a really bad terrain that the enemy would have to go to, and they'd have parapets that you could shoot down on. It's called not a bastion. Yeah, I think it's bastion. With the walls inset like that. You've got all this really bad terrain again, but you can't... Well, this makes sense because that's impassable. But again, I mean, like, this is all, after the bastion falls, you need to fall back to here, to these, and it's fairly well designed, I guess, historically speaking. I guess it passes muster. Alright, let's move. And I'm going to leave Tiburon right here, because I do want him to get some experience as well. So this is going to be my defensive line. Like I said, this sets up really nicely to heal, at the very least, 2 people at a time. I like it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end turn. I don't think this will be a 1-episode video, but it's definitely not going to be anywhere near as long as the last set of videos. Or 1-episode level. My mistake. I'll just let the enemy come to us. This feels a bit longer than when I... Oh. Wait. Okay. Okay. I thought I had set my mute on, but I hadn't. It would have been really easy, is on my second monitor, if I had checked the microphone levels. That would have been smart. But I didn't. I'm looking at it now. As I was saying, when I was doing this, I was doing the super fast frame skip, which literally made this turn go by in like, oh, it was less than 3 seconds. Right. Here they come again. Persistent little things, aren't they? Get them! Fireball. I do want her to get some experience. I want her to be a Dragon Knight by the next level. Should happen. And Calais is totally going to become a Magic Knight by the end of this. No, no, no. Good. Good. So we'll get my girls leveled up here. I'm never using my girls to describe Mina, Calais, and Sabra ever again. That sounded terrible. And I apologize to literally all of humanity for that. All of humanity, I am sorry. Let's just watch little pixels on the screen kill other little pixels. Alright. Let's keep going. The nice thing is they're going to be attacking from really inferior terrain. Oh, you silly, silly man. Well, I do love just how he's throwing regular lances, but as soon as they hit the enemy, they just light on fire and everything burns. Meanwhile, Mina is spreading the faith. And I'll go ahead and say right now, I don't mean anything offensive when I'm talking about that. I'm genuinely respectful of Christianity and my own Judaism. I just, you know, it's one of those things. It is kind of cool to see them using Christian elements in a game when people are so afraid to use them now. Like, I think of League of Legends, where one of the characters in the original game was literally called an Archangel. Just that, an Archangel. Now, you know, she's a champion of the light, which sounds more interesting. Archangel. They exist in, they existed in enough religions. People shouldn't be offended by that. Now, I can see some offense by, saying, hey, look, there's some, these are supposed to be things that we respect, and it kind of demeans to be having them as playable characters. I can see that. I can see that. I don't personally agree with it. I mean, to make that argument, it kind of also makes the argument that, you shouldn't be writing about them because it demeans them to have any influence at all. But I can understand the people feeling uncomfortable with that. At the same time, like having monks or like the Crusaders, like style attacks and whatnot, or even the line with Garrett says, "The power of the cross is mine." Just, I don't know. I'm not offended by it. I'm more amused by anything than anything else. Anyway, here's why I know that Calais is going to level up. Because she can do that, and actually I optimized that really poorly. But I'm not sure. I think the epicenter does do. No, it doesn't. It doesn't deal more damage. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and treat here. Now, there is actually an example of something like this happening in history, where you have a force marauding the enemy, marauding enemy fortifications, and then moving back to the hills for defense. I direct you to Hannibal's father. Yes, Hannibal, as in, the Punic Wars against Rome. Is it Hamilcar? Yeah, I believe it's Hamilcar. I am actually going to double check. There goes my credentials, classical studies degree. Hannibal's father. Anyway, while I'm looking this up, during the first Punic War, his entire shtick was, at the end of it, he holed up on a mountain in Sicily and just ran a guerrilla campaign until he completely ran out of resources, because Carthage didn't think it was worth giving their best general everything he needed to fight. Sound familiar? I mentioned Rommel. Yep, Hamilcar Barca. It's just a little confusing because his brother was also Hamilcar. It's always a shame when you see really great leaders just hamstrung, so badly hamstrung. But the Romans couldn't oust him. Literally, it took Carthage giving up the war to say, yeah, we're done. And for Hamilcar to lose. And he was so frustrated. That's why Hannibal made that famous oath that when he was able, when age willing, he will use fire and steel to arrest the destiny of Rome. I'm not opposed to Thorn getting experience. I'm going to need him to be a few levels up, but I don't want him to be higher than a lord in the 2 missions hence. So there are stories of people, being such a nuisance. It just, in this case, it doesn't make sense for them to attack immediately. I feel like it wouldn't be hard for the AI to have a wait order until the reinforcements came. But I'm not a programmer. If anyone watching this is a programmer and they know, please by all means, tell me. Alright, I think that Serpent Knight's going to attack next. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go, oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to go magic, healing. Go ahead and, oh, I can't heal both. Well, that's alright, I'm going to just treat with Tiburon. But now we're going to go magic, fireball. That's not going to do it. There we go, hit literally every single soldier on the map. Well, on the screen. Just yes, please. That is glorious. Treat. Oh, he's going to treat next to. Wow, he took a beating from that. Or was he already at 8? I don't remember. I think that enemy soldier, enemy fighter is also going to advance. No, he's going to retreat. Right. Ow! Fortunately, they're wounded, so it's more likely Calais will just destroy them all. Arrest their destiny with fire. Oh yes, this is going as planned. And after she becomes a Magic Knight, I will happily have Sabra get the other kills. The reason why I want Sabra to be a Dragon Knight is it makes it really easy for her to fly into range of enemy mages, soak up all of the magic damage from their abilities. She can easily treat. She won't be killed by them. She has enough magic resist. Then, you know, fly out when the enemy doesn't have any more magic magic to use against them. It's not like magic regenerates. That's the plan. And as I said, I do want Calais to become a ranger. Though Archmage actually has its uses. Archmage has Earthquake, which actually tears down walls, a la Mr. Gorbachev. That's a good thing. Oh, nice. What that means is, or I believe it means, like those defensible walls up there, the impassable ones, I mean, we can just plow right through them. Is that like, does that affect more than one unit at once? If it does, that's amazing. Anyway. Instead of treating with Sabra, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use magic and healing 1. Heal everyone up here to max. Oh, wow! I forgot she has the big area effect heal. And those belong to the spell user. Well, what do I want to do here? Yeah, I'm going to be a jerk. Actually, do I want to be a jerk, guys? I kind of do. Magic. That's what healing is for. I'll let them heal up and continue to attack. We'll just keep dropping mini fireballs. Save the mana for lightning bolt, so we can see what Thorn and Baird are going to become. And yeah, if Ranger wasn't a class... Oh dear. Mina has become pretty great. He probably should have done that before he attacked Mina. I guess these guys aren't very good at coordinating. I think those guys are dead. Yep. Ouch. Oh dear. Oh no, that's fine. Alright. I kind of lost my train of thought there. I was just watching the battle happen. Anyway, we're at turn 8. We're in good standing here. I feel like killing that guy will net me a victory experience up here. So what I'm going to do is magic. I'm just going to magic arrows this. Yes! Calais can move up to next level. Since Archmage is pretty useful. I'm not at all arguing that it isn't. But I want a Ranger. So her revisions are, I believe they're still the same. But look at her stats now, 31, 25, with a movement of 8. That's 4 higher attack and 10 higher defense. She's all of a sudden so much beefier. Like, she's now comparative to the... I mean, that's the Archmage stats right there. With +7, +0. It's honestly, like, I feel like if it weren't for the spells the Archmage brought with Earthquake, which is a really powerful spell, don't get me wrong, it turns all these to rubble. All of it. Well, most of it. If it weren't for that, boy howdy, would it be amazing. Would I be so happy to go with the other thing. Anyway, he's going to treat up. I'm going to go ahead and have Sabra attack this guy. Oh, that was well worked. And here's why that's well timed. Now I can have Baird. Oh, no. Oh, thank the Lord that doesn't... that doesn't end your turn right away. Or end that character's movement. Treat up here. Yeah, we'll have Mina attack that guy. Here's what I'll do. We'll use magic here, magic arrow. Well, let's think about this. I want him to treat. So, we'll go ahead and attack this guy. Yeah, that worked out. Right, he didn't do any damage the last time. Because Mina has the cross. She's taken the cross, and the Pope won't let anyone hurt her. That was a rule. It was a rule. If you've taken the cross, no one's allowed to mess with you. No debts, no... Oh, I did it again. No debts, no political intrigue. Didn't totally stop it from happening, but for the most part it helped people a lot. In fact, what happened a lot of times, if a new king came into power and he was afraid of factions in court, he would take the cross so that people would be less able or inclined to act against him. I mean, the Catholic Church did a lot for the stability of the medieval world. It kept a lot of the worst instincts. Yeah, it did a lot of bad as well. But you know, name a human institution that hasn't. Also, oh, she's not riding a unicorn when Garrett's a Magic Knight. He's riding a unicorn. You know, I mean, what human institution doesn't do ill on some level? It's just a fact of their nature. But it also did a lot of good for keeping the world, the Western world together after the fall of the Roman Empire. Anyway, magic, healing. I love the heal spell. We'll do that. Also now, her magic, she has thunder, which has a pretty big range. It's like, I think it's like fireball actually. But she also has a heal spell. And what's thunder's magic power? It's also 4. So I like it. Anyway, how do I want to do this? Probably going to use magic to heal him, but let's see. 24 defense, 29 attack. Can I magic arrows? Just to be sure. You never know. Attack. Level 9. Aw, yeah. Alright. I think she'll be fine. Well, the 31 attack. Well, I can treat with him. Well, I have to use... What's her heal range? Alright, so it's the same. I have to use at least one heal spell. So... Mina, go ahead and attack. You'll be fine. Especially Mina, because she has the extra defense from the cross and on the mountain. Sabra is in the forests and doesn't have the cross, so... Magic healing. Oh, that's glorious. He's going to pull back, but that's fine. Turn 9. Oh. 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 I thought he was done with magic. Thought he was done with magic for now. Mina will be fine. Again, she is a tanky little priestess. Who are they? It looks like the enemy's reinforcements. Go after them! Take them out! Go! Go! Sir, the reinforcements have arrived. They're heading our way. Good. I was awaiting their arrival. We can now begin the counterattack. You're a bit behind the gun there. Anyway, that's actually a pretty good place to stop it off here. We're almost at 26 minutes. I had a lot of fun doing this episode. Looks like Dungeon Defenders is up though, so I think I'll take a break from this and switch over to now for something only slightly different. Alright, let's go ahead. Interruption. Data save, continue play. I could leave this on in the background. No. Alright guys, it's been a lot of fun. Talk to you all later. Please remember to leave likes, comments, or subscriptions. Polius out.